get it, John. You're the decision maker. It's honestly the same way at my house. We just want to make sure she's there in case she had any questions. We're a really good company. We just want to make sure we're very thorough. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally, totally.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, that being said, do you think she would be available Sunday at 3 o'clock?
Yeah, we can schedule Sunday at 3 p.m. and I'm gonna let her know about that. Cause yeah, for sure we're gonna
Perfect.
be home at that time.
Oh, great, great. And remember, we'll even give you a reminder Saturday, okay?
Yeah, for sure. I would love that.
Which is actually today. Now that I think about it, John. So what I'm going to do is, if you have a second, I'm going to transfer you over to my confirmation department here at Loctite. Okay, they're just going to go over your address, kind of ask you the same stuff I did about you and your wife being there tomorrow at 3. Is that okay?
Well, I'm kind of
It-
busy right now. Can we do that later instead?
So they can
Or
call you
does it have to
later.
be right now?
I mean, it can be later, but it only takes a minute, John. I could transfer you right now. But real quick, let me get your address. What's your address? 123
It's
Sesame Street. Perfect. And that's in Miami,
Mhm.
Florida, right?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. So I'm gonna transfer you real quick to a gentleman named Peter. He's super nice. Just hang tight. Please don't hang up. You might hear silence while I'm transferring you for like 30 seconds, but then you'll be right on the line with Peter, okay?
Right, I'll be waiting.
All right. Don't hang up. 1 second. And then, I would transfer him to Peter. And I know, Jarena, you have no idea how to do that, but I would teach you. Vic would teach you. I'm sorry, not Vic. But yeah, I would teach you how to do that. So that's that, John. Thank you for that. That was good. You gave me some trouble. I love it. You want to do one more?
If you want, yeah, I can
I
sure.
do one. I do
I
one.
can do
I
one
want you
more.
to
Yeah.
try to. I want you to try to. You did perfect. You gave me the one-legger thing. You tried to fight me on having your wife there. I love that. And you told me you were super busy. I love that. Try to think of like two more reasons why you can't let me send a rep out. We're gonna do it again, okay?
All right, all right.
Hey, very good morning, John. It's Jeremy with the Window and Roofing Company. How are you?
Hello, good morning. I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm very good. Thank you so much for asking. Sorry to bug you on a Saturday. The boss has me working today, but I'll be super quick. I know you spoke with one of us, maybe not me, but you spoke with one of us a little while back about windows or roofing, potentially getting a free estimate. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, okay. The reason I'm calling you now, John, we're doing a pretty hefty discount for the start of this new year. Okay, and we really wanted to get out there and get you a quote. It is good for a year, so there's no obligation to buy anything if you didn't want to. But we do think you'll like it. You think we can come out maybe tomorrow or Monday?
So here's the thing. Yeah, I would love to get that estimate, but it usually takes 90 minutes, right? Because I've already had a couple of estimates before, and
Uh huh.
yeah, I don't really want to sit with a guy for a whole
Uh
hour.
huh.
So
Oh, I get
yeah.
it, man. I get it. That must be painful, right? I've never had to do anything like that myself. But I'm setting these appointments all the time, and I get it. How many quotes have you had?
I've got five now actually.
Oh my God! It. What may I ask? How come you didn't, sign a contract yet?
There's this one contractor who gave me a quote for $50,000, and that's too high for me. And there's another one that's pretty cheap, but I don't like the incentives for what they
Yeah.
offer. So
Uh
yeah,
huh.
I'm kind of not
Yeah.
decided right now.
Wow. Wow. So 50 grand, and then one for way cheaper. Yeah, that's kind of a red flag. I wonder why, but I mean, do you have one more in you? I mean, we're Loctite, right? So we're a very well-known company. We have amazing reviews and ratings, and we're extremely fairly priced. I mean, do you think you got one more in you, man, that we can come out and give you our best price and show you our windows? And about the 90 minutes thing, so it's not like we have a timer and we're not going to leave your house unless it's 90 minutes. It's not like that. It's just we've been doing this a long time, and typically to do a thorough job at showing you our windows and giving you a real price, we just know it takes about an hour and a half, sometimes longer.
Hmm.
So I mean, that being said, listen, we don't want to be in your house, all day either, all night. Um, but we would love to come out and get you a price. If you are open to one more, I think you would really like it. Do you think we can come out tomorrow, Sunday,
Well, I'm only
maybe in
gonna
the
be free
morning?
at night.
Okay.
I'm not free on Sundays, but on the weekdays I'll be
Hmm.
free at night at around 7 p.m. maybe. Will that be okay?
I mean, we can maybe do 7. Is 6 possible? It's just much easier for us to do a 6 if that's possible for you.
6 p.m. But the thing is, I
Yeah.
get off work at 5:30, and I
Oh,
have to
okay,
drive
okay, okay.
home. So
Gotcha, gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha. All right, so I'll put you in for 6, John. That's no issue. Uh, and what did you want to do Monday evening?
Monday is a tough day for me. What about Wednesday?
We could do Wednesday. Yeah. And I mean, look, well, never mind. You said weekends are no good for you. That's fine. Yeah, we could do Wednesday. Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Now, John, not to be too nosy, but is there a Mrs. Chan? Are you a married homeowner?
Yeah, there is, but she leaves. She doesn't live with me anymore.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna sound really nosy here. Is it a divorce, or are you just gonna? Are you? What's going on there? And the reason I'm asking, I know I sound crazy asking that. We do like to have everybody who owns the house or if they're married to be there because there is a lot of information we're giving you. That's the only reason I'm asking those questions. I mean, is it possible to have her there Wednesday?
Well, I don't think that's gonna be possible because she's staying with her parents right now because we kind of
Okay.
had an argument
Yeah.
or something. So yeah, that's
Gotcha.
the only.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's tough, man. That's tough. I understand. Hmm. All right, you're really throwing me for a loop here because this is me talking to you, John. I mean that's tough. I mean, this is off script. This is me talking to you. I mean, that's a tough one. Vic, what would you say? I see you're on here. What the hell would you say to that? It's just
Like I
like an
said,
argument.
I've got the same call just a couple
You
of minutes
have,
ago.
huh? Wow.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I mean, I would still try. I would be like, "Are you sure?" I mean, can we do maybe you want to push it for 2 weeks? Buy her some flowers, man. I would make a joke. I mean, I really would. We still need her there. It's just a little fight, man. So it's gonna be a one-legger if I set that up for just him, and I know that, so I can't do that. I would probably make some sort of joke like, "My man, you think if you buy her some flowers, we could push it for 2 weeks out or something?" Like, I mean, Vic, what would you say to that?
I mean, that's a tough one because I mean, if he comes out saying like, "Oh, we had an argument," so they got to get back on good terms. I think if they get back
Yeah.
on good terms, you can set it up for both of them. But like,
Hmm.
if they're like, she left the house and she's not, what I mean, she's staying somewhere else, it's kind of tough.
Yeah,
You
that's a
can't set it
tough
up as a one legger. I mean, you find out they're married. It's a tough one. I mean, um, yeah,
You
it's
got us,
not like they're
John.
getting
You
a
got
divorce.
us.
They're not on the way to the divorce. Divorce. If he's saying like, "Yo, we're separated. We're on our way to getting divorced," that one. If PA shows as just him as the owner, and he said that, then I would probably put it in as it's not so much as the one legger. Even is if his name is the sole name on it, then maybe I'll try to slide that through.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if
yeah.
it's they're married, and he's just like, yo, right now we're just races on the rocks, but whatever. I would say kind of like what you said, Jeremy. I like that. Like I would probably like, hey, you think hopefully everything works out. You buy her some flowers, and you guys can get back on it, and we can meet with you guys. Because I would say this, this guy's got 5 estimates. He
Yeah.
hasn't made a decision. He just told you one of them the prices were too high, another one he didn't like the incentives. Like it's just like everything sounding like you need us as your company. We sound like the
Yeah.
perfect company. It sounds like
Mhm.
you being that many people and you taking my call and we're talking now. It's meant
Mhm.
to be like we should be meeting with you to get you an estimate. As for
Yeah.
the time it takes, I mean, once he said 50 grand, I'll be like, that sounds like you got a lot of windows. Like 50 grand isn't just
Mhm.
one or two, three windows. So if you got a 50 grand quote, like that's a good amount of windows. And obviously with the time portion, when you guys talked about the 90 minutes, that'd be like, we don't want to be there any longer than we have to. But, obviously this is a big investment. You want to make the right
Yeah.
choice decision for your
Mhm.
home. But on the one leg apart, like, yeah, that's a tough one. That's just a future tentative. If anything, it's a tentative appointment. I'm okay if you guys set it up tentatively. In essence, like, hey, let's do this. Then maybe, hopefully you guys get back on good terms. We can follow up with you in like a week. How about this? I put you in my schedule tentatively for next week, whatever the times you guys are talking about were the best times potentially.
Mhm.
And then you could follow up with the middle of the week to see if everything's good, unless depending on the reaction. Like if he's like, yeah, that might work out, we might be good after that. Sure, do that. And then call me, beforehand. Like, yeah, and then you can leave it a confirmation a call or depending on like his response. But if he gives you like, yeah,
Yeah.
that might work, then I would be okay with it. But if he's like, then I would just follow up. It's that one's a tough one to close. If you got somebody
Yeah.
that is married and they're over here like the wife left. Damn, that's what'd you do, buddy? I hope you know what I mean. Hope you didn't get
She ain't
caught,
gonna like you
man.
when you buy windows either.
Yeah, yeah.
After you spend
I
50
would.
grand, she definitely isn't
Yeah.
coming back.
Typically, I recommend buy some windows. That'll make your wife really happy. Typically, but
Yeah.
first, I think that might work. That'd be
Yeah,
a good
that's a
joke to
tough
say.
one. So I mean, there's two things that can happen there. You can either just set a really bad appointment that probably isn't going to confirm, or you can just tell him, be real with the guy. Listen, I mean, we would have to have you both there. We'll call you in a couple weeks. You could do the tentative thing like Vic said, or you could follow up with them yourself. But that is very tough, John. That's almost like just a one-legger. Like we just can't do that as it stood, right? So as
But
we
that
left
one
that
is the one you
conversation,
would definitely work because of the
oh yeah,
amount. If he tells you a 50 grand quote he got, you're like, shit, that's a big money bag of a
and
sale.
honestly,
So I would definitely be like, all right, listen, that's not gonna you can't rush that one. I mean, the guy's obviously shopping. If you got somebody that's like five
mhm,
estimates, he's obviously in the market looking to make a decision. You know. If you want to hit him with something like, listen, obviously before you make any final decisions, you know what I mean? It's something obviously you're gonna discuss with your wife, right? You get that kind of assurance, then you're like, well, let me follow up with you. You know what I mean? Hopefully,
mhm.
you guys get to her. Hopefully she buys you flowers, you know what I'm saying? Makes it all
Yeah.
right, you know. But
And
yeah, I
I
would
will
work
say
that. That's
this.
about it.
I will say this. All of our contractors are very strict about their qualifications. One-leggers, big no-no. However, if you have something like this where it's a big job, just at least tell me because I do have some leeway with USA. And I could call the owner and be like, man, I know, one-legger, but will you take this? He might call it himself and feel it out himself and maybe decide to go himself, knowing it's a one-legger, and work it over time. So just know that we don't want one-leggers from you, but just let me know if there's one that you feel like could sell and it's a big one, like 50 grand, just let me know, let Vic know, and we'll see if it's possible to do anything.
And just
Hey,
a little
Cherry.
bit of something that separates, my bad. Real quick,
No, go
like
ahead.
if she lives in the home, she needs to be there. Now we've had
Yeah.
situations here on our end where like versus the guy's the sole homeowner, right? And he's got a co-owner on the property. When I'm saying co-owner, not wife, just a co-owner. Like we've actually taken those leads if they got nothing to do with it. They're like, yo, my brother lives in Utah and he doesn't live here. He doesn't have any decision making. Like, you know what I mean? He's got no say in here. He just lives here. I just had his name on the property for whatever reason. And I'm the decision maker. Like, we've taken some of those, as long as that's the case. You know what I mean? But if they live there, their name's on the property, we need them to be there. When it's
Yeah.
husband and wife, that's a person that they typically will live together if they're married. But go
Yeah.
ahead, Jeremy, you were gonna say the cherry?
Oh, I was just gonna say, me and Cherry. I'm not gonna do this with everyone, so don't worry if you're shy or anything. But Cherry, do you want to do a fake call with me? I'll be the rep. You're the customer.
Sure, boss.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Hey. Good morning, Cherry. This is Jeremy with the Window and Roofing Company. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm good. Thank you so much. Happy Saturday. I'm sorry to bug you on a weekend. They just have me working today. But the reason for my call, I know a little while back we spoke about impact windows or roofing. You were looking for a quote. I'm calling you now, ma'am, because we're doing a little bit of a discount for the start of the new year. And we really wanted to get out there and get you a price. We think you'll really, really like it. And it is good for a year. So there's no obligation to buy anything at all if you didn't want to. But we'd love to come out there maybe tonight, tomorrow, Monday, even.
Oh, okay. But just one thing. I just don't recall doing any inquiry about this one. How did you get my number?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, we have many, many ways that we do marketing. So you're, first of all, you're just, you're on one of my lists here. But if I had to guess, either we maybe knocked on your door a little while ago, or maybe you filled something out on the internet, or maybe you got like a mailer sent to your home and you called us and inquired, and it has to be one of those things. Does any of those ring a bell?
To be honest with you, I'm not really sure with that because with regards to online inquiry. I really don't do that.
Okay.
That's not
So do you
my
remember? Yeah, do you remember someone maybe knocking on your door a long time ago? It could have been 2 years ago. It could have been last year. It doesn't really tell me that, but I mean, if you're on my list, typically at some point
Mhm.
you had some sort of interest in either windows or roofing, or it could just be a mistake. Mistakes happen. But do you ever remember anyone maybe knocking on your door a long time ago?
No one, no one. That's why I'm really, you know. But anyway, go ahead. I might be interested with that. With that.
Okay. Well,
Selling
maybe you
windows.
just maybe God put you on my list if you just said you're interested. I don't know how. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But anyway, we're doing a nice discount for the start of this year. Okay. And we wanted to get out there and get you a free quote. And I was hoping I could send a representative out maybe this week whenever you have some time available.
But I don't have the budget right now. If in case I this is something that I need to, consult with my husband.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Listen, we don't expect you to do anything that very day. It's the first step. We come out, we show you some windows, assuming this is for windows, right? Not your roofing?
Yeah, the windows.
Okay, yeah. So we would show you some windows, take some measurements, sit down with you and your husband, and tell you your options. If it's a good fit, we'll take it further from there. I mean, yeah, you're under no obligation to buy anything. Um, but we would still like to come out and show you our offer because we're very confident when you are ready, you'll call us.
Yeah, I understand it, but I've heard that Perkin impact windows are really too high and expensive, and I just can't
Mhm.
afford it right now for sure.
Yeah, and like I said, you don't have to afford it right now. As long as it's something that you have an interest in doing within maybe a year's time, we're totally okay with coming out, giving you an estimate, and then leaving without making a sale. You know what I mean? And as far as them being expensive, they're not cheap. They are an investment for your home. But I definitely think the reason everyone's doing these is because they're a good investment, and it does pay for itself, in my opinion. But are you open to learning more about it? Maybe Monday? We'll come out for about an hour and a half, and this way you know what it would cost.
I have an appointment on Monday. Not
Oh,
sure about my schedule this week.
hmm, okay. I mean, typically, are you and your husband both home during the week around, 5 or 6? I know Monday's not going to work for you guys, but do you think maybe Tuesday would work?
One more thing, my husband, I'm not sure if he's okay with this because this is something that, this is a huge investment for sure. So I
Sure.
really need to talk to him about it first before giving you any schedule. Can you
Oh,
call me
that's
back
fine.
and
Yeah,
I talk to him first and call me
that
back?
sounds great. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I want you to talk to your husband about this. So why don't we do this? I'll put you in for Tuesday at 6, but I'll call you Monday to confirm everything, right? So if you and your husband want us to come out, just let us know when we call you Monday. If your husband doesn't think he's ready right now, you let us know when we call you Monday. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that's fine. That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
But here's the
Yep.
thing. I think the problem is since I'm the one who's working right now, my husband is staying at home and
Hmm.
doesn't have an income right now. I don't
Yeah,
think. I'm sure you know what I mean, right? So
I know what you mean. It's tough out here for all of us. Again, it's a very, we're not one of those high pressured companies. We don't want you to make any bad decisions financially, right? So, assuming we do come out Tuesday, we're going to show you some windows. We're going to take measurements. We're going to tell you a price. Okay. If you guys decide that this is not a good idea for your financial situation, we don't want you to do it. Does that sound okay?
yeah, that sounds fine.
Yeah, we don't want
But
to pressure
can
you
we?
into.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No.
Why not we do this? Why not? Can I just be the one who's uh, uh, talking to the representative who'll be there, who'll be here on next week? Because I don't want my husband to, interrupt or give any, you know what I mean, any bad decision about this project in
You don't
case.
want them to accidentally get excited and buy some windows?
No, that's not what I mean. I mean,
Oh,
he's really for sure is going to be hesitant at this project, and I just don't want him to
oh,
bug us and give
so
any.
yeah, I mean, we want him to be involved. We want you to be involved equally, just as much as him. We want you to. I mean, it's like you said, it's a big decision, and it is a big investment. We definitely want you both involved. I mean, does he have to be locked, handcuffed to the table, talking to us the whole time? Absolutely not. But we do want him to be able to ask questions. We want you guys to make a thorough decision or make no decision, but we want you to be informed on what exactly we're offering. So we would definitely ask that you're both there and we have your attention. You think that would be okay for Tuesday at
Yeah,
6 o'clock?
sure. I will surely talk to him about this so that he'll have an idea.
Thank you
Oh,
so much. Thank you.
by the way, I have a question for you.
Yes,
Are
ma'am.
you familiar with the what do you call this? Like a grant that we can
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
for
So
this
you're
project?
so it sounds like you're talking about My Safe Florida Home, which was extremely big and popular last year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the funds have dried up. It was a very temporary program that helped a lot of homeowners. The funds have dried up. I'm assuming you did not already, you don't have an active account with them and were
Mm,
approved, right?
no, no. I'm
Correct.
just
Yeah.
curious
So
about.
yeah, so unfortunately, that program that you're probably talking about, it's done. It's no more. However, we have our own programs, right? We have a lot of good stuff going on, and that's why we're going to come out Tuesday to explain everything to you, okay? And what is your address, Cherry? It's the one
Yeah.
thing I'm missing here. I don't know why.
Can I
Notice how I
just?
played dumb, guys? Notice how I was like, what? I don't have your address. You don't have to do that, but that's what I felt was appropriate at that time. So, yeah, Cherry, what's your address? I don't even have it here.
You know what? I'm not really sure about this one. I don't want to give out any information without me talking to my husband first.
Uh huh.
So maybe I can just give that when you call back.
You can, but if you go on Google right now and look at us, Loctite Impact Windows and Doors, or Prestige Impact Windows and Doors, or I'm not saying that to the customer. I'm saying that to you guys. Whoever you're pitching, right? Whoever you are, I have done this before. When they get all skeptical, I'll be like, "Ma'am, are you at a computer? Go on Loctite.com, right?" And they look at it. I go, "Ma'am, we're not just going to show up to your house unless you allow us to your home. The reason why I want your address now is because that confirmation phone call is going to be very quick. I'm supposed to get this all ready. Um, and that's kind of what I would say. I might not give her the whole website. I do that if they're getting super skeptical. With Cherry, I don't think she's getting super skeptical, but she's headed there. So I may or may not have done that, but it's something you can do only if you're 100% certain on who you're giving that lead to. Because Jarena, I'm going to tell you this, I'm sure Aldrin explained to you, we don't we don't do business with just one window company. We do business with about 5 or 6, and it all depends on where the homeowner lives or what the project is. But anyway, let me try to snap back into my script there from where I left off. Um, So you said you don't want to give me the address only on confirmation, right? So I would just be like, yeah, man, we're not gonna just show up to your house. We're gonna call you Monday. And if you tell me that your husband and you decided not to have us come out, we're not gonna come out. Okay? So I just want your address so I can create a little file for you. This way, Monday when we call you, it's a pretty quick confirmation call. Is that okay, Cherry?
Okay.
All
If
right.
that's the
So
case, sure.
thank you so much. And if it makes you feel more comfortable, Cherry, you can look us up online. We're Loctite Impact windowsanddoors.com. But okay, you said 222 Sesame Street, and that's in Hollywood, Florida, right? Okay. And ma'am, real quick, is this a single family home or is this a condominium?
This is what do you call this? A duplex.
All right, she threw me for a loop. And here's a great example why you do not do what I just did and say the homeowner, the window company's name until you know everything about the lead. It's a duplex. Loctite's not going to do a duplex. So I would have messed this up so bad because then I would have had to sound like a crazy person and be like, oh, wait, actually, I'm USA Windows and Roofing. You know what I mean? for people who don't understand, like probably Jarena. So not all of our window companies do the same type of job. Loctite's not going to do a duplex in most cases. USA will, right? This is why in the beginning of the conversation I say the window and roofing company, because I don't know who I am yet. We, as MVP Marketing, have contracts with USA Windows and Roofing, Florida Home Improvements, Reese Builders, Prestige Windows and Doors, Loctite Impact Windows and Doors. I might even be forgetting one, but each of them have their own purpose. And in this example, 100% all day long, I would be giving this to USA because they do the weird stuff like apartments and investment properties, maybe even a one-legger if I beg the owner to take it. It's because they're a smaller company. They don't have as many rules as the bigger guys. But anyway, I messed that phone call up because I said Loctite before knowing that it was a duplex. So if I did mess that phone call up, I would probably have to kind of be honest in some way with this lady, Cherry, and say, oh, we don't actually do duplexes, but we have a partner company who can, you know? And she's already skeptical. She probably would hang up on me at that point. And that's my bad. I messed up. That's a great example of why I try not to say a company name until I know what's going on. I messed up my own rule. But let's
I
assume
think
she
though, if
didn't say
you, I mean, if you catch yourself though, I think if you catch yourself though, like if you're feeling worried about it, it's gonna come across. You know what I mean? If you're
Yeah.
on a phone call, that's why you really have to like if you catch her and you know in the back of your mind, like shit, all right, our company, immediately just you can pivot immediately. Okay,
Uh-huh.
great. I'm glad I asked you that question. Like now I'm glad I asked you because then I'd be
Yeah.
wasting your time if I said now the company I work for specifically because we don't do that. So I'm glad I asked because we don't do duplex. But good news is we have a partner company that does, which I can go ahead and still schedule the appointment for them to come
Yep.
out. Their name is so and so, and they're this company. If you guys know some information on the company, is great. Like I think like how he gives you the website. He said the website. You guys can know about how many years they're in business or say they're in business. Most of these guys say they're over 30 years in the business.
Uh-huh.
But if you guys are quick to pivot, like catch that, it's not a bad thing. It's like, hey, okay, glad I asked. You know what I'm saying? That's a good thing to ask these questions because it's not something we do. But the good news is this: the person's not gonna feel like, oh, as skeptical as she was, if you're quick for it, you know what's up. Look, I would be wasting your time if I send the company out that we work for because we don't do this. I'm glad I asked because I hate to waste your time. Obviously, you have an interest, but we do have a parent company, sister company, brother company, whatever you want to say in regards to that can
Mhm.
cover.
Another
So
option is depending on who you're talking to, depending on the type of character the person is on the other end of the phone call, you could be completely honest. And the honest truth is, we're a marketing company and we do business with this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. Yes, ma'am. At first, my first option was saying Loctite because they are so good, just like I was talking about. But for this particular project, USA. I mean, they're also amazing. I only work with the best, blah, blah, blah. Most people aren't going to like that you're a marketing company and not a window company because they're going to think that that means they're going to pay extra, which is not true, but I get why they think that, right? Buy direct, go to the source, and we're just a middleman, so to speak. But anyway, assuming that Cherry did not say a duplex, she said a single family home. I would have just wrapped up the conversation, tightened it up, thanked her so much, reassured her that we're going to call her Monday to confirm for Tuesday. And then I would put it on the tracker, and then I would have sent it to Loctite and moved on immediately. And that's it. You know?
Loctite doesn't do duplexes for Windows.
It's weird, man. Depending on how they
I
feel.
mean,
Sometimes
I know
they'll
on
take
our
it. I don't
end,
know.
on the prestige sides, I've got nothing about like a duplex being an issue for Windows. It's an issue for roof, certainly for a
For
duplex.
sure.
On a roof side, you can't do it, but on the Windows side, on our end, prestige
They
side,
will do it.
it wouldn't be. Yeah, I mean, we've
Okay.
never had anything where it'd be like, oh, for a duplex, you can't schedule that for a duplex because I mean, duplex is basically one big house that just split in the middle for two families. So
Correct. But it's
you
an
on one
investment.
side and the other.
Yeah, and Vic's right. Vic's right. Maybe well, not maybe. If he's saying they'll do them, they'll do them. I don't believe Loctite's going to do it because Vic, they're a lot like FHA, where, you know, that's an investment property. If it's two families, it's
How
most
is it an
likely
investment property if they live there?
because it's two families. You know what I mean? So it's probably one owner,
No,
like
no.
you bought.
Well, all right, so duplex, right? You got it's two families that live there, like it's split, right? But they
Mhm.
could have both of them, each of them could own one side of the duplex. They
Really?
don't necessarily own the whole thing, and then somebody's
Who owns
renting
the
out
whole
the other
building though?
part.
Someone owns that building. You
You'd
know what
have
I
to look
mean?
it up. You'd have to look it up. But let's say their name is on the PA. Their name shows on the PA. Even
That's
if,
true.
like, my question to them would be, do you reside there? Do you live there? Or is this an investment property? Like, you can be straight
Mhm.
up. Like, do you live there? Do
Yeah.
you reside there? Because if they live there, reside there, whether they're on one side or both sides,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But typically they'll be at least on one side of the duplex. We can give the estimate to it. Now, if they're looking to
Okay.
get the estimate on like where they don't live, where they have tenants living there, then that's where it
Yeah.
becomes a investment property, rental
Yeah.
property
Yeah.
issue. But
Mhm.
those are the questions you would want to ask if it's a duplex. Like, hey, okay, you know, are you the owner of the duplex? You are. Let's say it
Yeah.
like that. Are you the owner of the
All right.
duplex? You are. Great. And now we're going. This is you reside there, or is this a rental or an investment property? No, no, no. I live there. Okay, perfect. There's no issue. I'm not really asking too much more after that. If they live
Yeah.
there, reside
Okay.
there, there's no issue.
So Vic's probably right. So everything I was saying earlier about it has to go to USA, let's pretend that Cherry did not say duplex, but she said a 6-story condominium, just to avoid confusion. So let's just pretend all that stuff I was saying about has to go to USA. Let's pretend Cherry said it was a 6th floor. She was, you know, it's a high-rise condo, and she's on the 6th floor. But anyway, so we can move on from that. Would anybody else like to role play with me on things they hear that really stump them? And don't be shy. You know, no one's judging anyone here. We just want to be helpful. Okay, no problem. Um, Maya, can I bug you for a second?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey, you're able to talk, right? I know one of you said you might be at your other job. Was that you?
No.
It's me,
Okay.
boss.
Okay, okay. Oh, Cherry, I'm sorry. Then I'll stop messing with you so much. So Maya, real quick, I want to do the opposite. Is it okay if you pitch me? I'm the customer and you're Maya? I don't want you to be all nervous and shy or anything like that.
Can I be the customer?
You want to be the customer? Sure,
Yeah.
no problem. No problem at all. Hey, and you know, do what the other people are doing. Don't make it impossible for me, but make it difficult, okay?
Okay.
Unless Victor, I don't know what you're up to. If you want it to be Victor and you do it, it's up
Sure,
to you,
sure,
or I'll do it.
sure, sure. I'll go.
Okay, good. I want
I
to
got a little
shut
bit
up
more
for a minute.
time. So what are we doing? Am I a customer or am I a
No,
contractor?
Victor, you're Victor with the window and roofing company. Maya's the homeowner.
The homeowner? Ring,
Yeah.
ring. Hi, is this Maya?
Yes. Good
Hi,
morning.
Maya. Good morning to you and happy New Year's, by the way. This is Victor with the Window and Door Company. Just following up with you in regards to the interest you had for getting an estimate on Hurricane Impact windows. Right now, we're kicking off the new year with a special promotion on Hurricane Impact windows to help homeowners like yourself protect their properties at a discounted rate. Want to see if we can go ahead and squeeze you in our schedule. We got some openings tomorrow, Maya. If you got time at 10, 2, and 6. Do any of those times work for you?
Mm, well, that was a long time ago, and it's impossible to talk to you because it's expensive. I've got a couple of estimates before, so I decided not to continue with it.
Okay. So, all right. Well, first, let me say it's not impossible. Anything's possible, Maya. First
I
off,
knew he was
right?
going to say that.
But secondly, Maya, it doesn't cost anything to find out a price. So you got a couple estimates, right? You're saying, but you're saying the price was too much, so you decided not to do it anymore. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So in that case, so your windows currently, they're not protected? You don't have hurricane impact windows. So if a hurricane were to come, what do you do, Maya? Do you
Oh,
leave town? Do you stay in the house?
yeah, I stay in the house and pray.
Oh no. Oh no. And pray? Well, listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I heard your prayer, and this is why I'm calling you because I mean you should be protected. First off, if you got estimates, they cost a lot. I can understand why you hesitated and didn't want to move forward for that, but I don't think you should not protect your home. You know, I think, like I said, we're starting off the new year. We're kicking off new promotions at good deals. You might be surprised how affordable this could be for you. but it starts with getting an estimate, at least from our company. I don't know the other guys. I mean, I've called homeowners and they said the same thing in regards to prices being pretty high, which, sad to hear, especially for you as a homeowner, not wanting to continue because of that. So I don't think that should be the case. I think you should let us, hear us out. You might be surprised because prices vary really depending on what you choose. So unless you're choosing the Mercedes Benz or the windows, that's a different story, but we got all different type of options for you, Maya. And like I said, we've got openings tomorrow where I can have a representative come out, and this is no cost to you in regards to finding out exactly what the price is. We got a lot of options we'll let you choose from. But I really think, I mean, you live in South Florida, you know how they say in Florida, it's not if, it's when it comes to hurricanes. So you really should consider, protecting the home, protecting yourself. So how's tomorrow? I can get somebody there at 10, 2. I mean, you tell me what works better for you.
I can tomorrow. I have work and I would come
Okay,
home,
okay.
yeah, usually
I don't want
late
you
in
to
the
call off of
afternoon.
work. Don't want you to call off of work. That's not a problem. We're flexible with our schedule. We're accommodating. We work around your schedule. If you're working tomorrow, you're not home at any of those times that I mentioned. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Tomorrow's Sunday. We've got during the week. Let me ask, how's the work schedule during the week? Like, are you home at any of those times that I mentioned, the 10, 2, or 6 during the week?
Yeah, I'll be home maybe 3 o'clock on Tuesday.
Perfect. 3 o'clock sounds like a perfect time. Let me put you in for 3 o'clock, but let me do this, Maya, as well. I'm gonna call you back on Monday as a reminder. Make sure everything's still good, nothing's changed in your plans, and we'll call you Monday to confirm. Just a couple questions in regards to the windows in the home. I mean, you would consider getting an estimate for all the windows in the home, or did you have any particular ones in mind, like the ones in the front, the back?
Well, it all actually depends on the price.
Perfect,
So
perfect, perfect, perfect. Well,
I
in
want
that
to
case,
protect the entire
typically,
home, but
yeah,
it all depends on the price.
most homeowners, they get the estimate on everything, and then depending on the price, like you said, they break it down, which we could do that for you. We could section it out. That's not an issue at all. So, great. Tuesday, sounds good. I mean, Wednesday, whatever day that was, I already lost that. So if it was Wednesday, Tuesday, whatever the day is, we'll call you then. Let's get your address. What's your address, Maya?
Um, don't you have my address? You should
I
have it.
don't, and I don't, and then we certainly want to make sure we're going out to the right home. Hate to be knocking on your neighbor's door. So, no, we don't. I don't have the address. I do have your name and your phone number, but I'll need the address to send the representatives right to the right home. What's the address?
Yeah, but I don't know who you are, so I'm not comfortable giving out my address.
Okay,
So
okay, that's perfectly fine if you're not feeling comfortable of giving your address out. I'm with Prestige Windows and Doors. We're based out of Miami Lakes. We've been doing business for home improvement for over 30 years. Are you nearby a computer?
no.
Okay, okay. You have a cell phone. You should have access to online. Typically, most people do. My recommendation, look us up, so you feel comfortable, so you know who exactly we are, who you can expect out, if you're hesitant there. But certainly, at some point, we'll need the address to be able to come out to your home because, obviously we can't give an estimate outside because we got to be able to measure those windows that you have and at the same time meet with you to show you your options of what you could replace it with.
Yeah, I
You said
understand.
earlier, in regards to when a hurricane comes, you're in the home, with your prayers, I like to help you with that. So with that said, if you feel comfortable, if you want to look it up while we're on the phone now, you can, but certainly, um, we would need the address to be able to make it out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll just check you guys later. What's the name of your company?
Prestige Windows and Doors.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. You
Does my
can.
number show up on the caller ID?
Yep. I can
Yeah,
call you
Okay,
at
all
this
right.
number. Yeah.
yeah, it shows up as scam likely.
Okay, save that, but change the name from Scam Likely to Victor.
Victor. Okay, Victor.
Yeah. If it shows up as Scam Likely, I gotta talk to my IT guys. I don't know why that is. It's probably because of all the phone calls that we make, potentially. Big business, so a lot of customers. But great. Why don't we do this? Take a look at it. Right now it's early in the day. Can I call you later today, Maya?
Yeah, sure.
Give you a couple of hours, few hours. Look us up. You can look us up on the Better Business Bureau. You can look us up on the website. I want you to feel comfortable in regards to
Yeah.
having someone, because obviously we're asking to meet with you personally to your home. So I want you to feel comfortable at the end of the day. So if you don't feel comfortable, go ahead, look us up, do your research, and then I'll follow up with you, and then we'll take it from there. That sound
Yes.
good?
Yes. How many people are coming in?
It would just be one rep, unless they got a trainee with them, but typically it's just one representative that goes out, discusses everything with you from the product, the warranty, the order, and this. I mean, the whole thing from start to finish.
Okay. Well, you can come in on Tuesday. Here's my address.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
We don't service that area. You're in Jupiter. So sorry. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
was
You're
gonna
gonna
say
have to
Maya.
keep praying, Maya.
I,
You're gonna have to keep praying.
I was gonna say Maya. What if I could guess your address? I'm gonna start with one.
That
No,
sounds
that's good.
that sounds
Do
stalkerish
you
if you
guys have a
say
lot
can
of
I
trouble?
guess.
Do you guys have a lot of trouble with the address thing?
do.
Just a few. Yeah.
You do. So
Yeah, kind of.
I've heard. So I've sorry to interrupt. I've heard Victor do it, and I know how I do it. I'm literally asking for the address as if me and Victor were going out to dinner, and he was at the dinner spot, and I was supposed to meet him. That's how I'm asking. Hey, so what's the address? What's the address? The reason I'm saying that, don't overthink it and don't be all sketchy when you're asking for the address because they're gonna hear that and they're gonna think you're sketchy, right? So what I mean by that is don't say, "Well, ma'am, will you kindly help me out with your address?" Don't say anything like that. It just makes it seem weird, you know? Not that you are doing that, because I'm not. I don't know what you're saying, but when I ask, I'm literally asking like it's my best friend, and just how Vic said. So what's your address? Or you could say like, so which address are we going to? That might be a little better. But I would have to listen to your recordings to find out why you're having trouble with that, because that is the least of my problems. When I'm calling, getting the address is smooth every time. The hard part is getting them to say yes for the appointment, you know. But the address shouldn't be an issue. And
If
if they
they're
say,
having
"Does you?"
issues with it, there's something that came up that they had them feeling
Yeah.
uneasy on the phone call
Mm-hmm.
with you,
Yeah.
you know. So, I mean, obviously, the more you guys, most of you guys have been doing this now, minus the newbies, for a little while now. You should have some confidence and be quick with it. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
nonchalant when you ask for it. It's a need. I mean, the person has a need, a want. Like, I mean, there's no way I can give you an estimate then if we're not going out to the home. So, do you really want to do this home improvement? Do you really have an interest? I mean, that's why kind of like I go into the thing with the value of this appointment because this person has no. You see, that's why I want to know if she's got any protection. Like, what are you doing then when a hurricane? Okay, you're telling me you sit in the house and you pray. That's crazy to me. You're gonna sit in the house and potentially risk your life when, some people, most people either gonna leave their homes, if they're told to evacuate, or they're sitting in their house because they have protection. I could have used a little bit more like, I do the same thing, but minus the prayer. I'm playing video games at the power still on because I'm protected. I got hurricane impact windows and doors around my house, so I feel safe in my
Yeah,
home, not having to worry about anything.
I'm praying
I'll
for the
pray for
people
you.
without impact windows.
Yeah. But,
You know.
when it comes to that address, like Jeremy says, like I don't really have too much of it. So there's got to be something on their end that they're feeling, uncomfortable and easy, not wanting to give it to you. But you got to make them feel, at ease. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, if she didn't want to give me the address, you can't force them, right? But I'm going to do everything to be like, listen, we're reputable. So if you're feeling there's something that I said that you don't want to give, that's understandable. Look us up. But there's no way that we can provide you an estimate if we don't have the address because we have to
Mm.
measure your windows. Secondly, we also you have to go over the options of which windows you may potentially want to go with. Like you said, the windows were expensive for you before, but that's probably the window that you chose. Like we got different price ranges to fit everybody's budget. So we could find a window, but again, we can't do this without your address. But if you don't feel comfortable right now, like why don't you do this for me and then I can call you back a little bit later, you know what I mean? So that we can exchange the address so we can keep this appointment. We still
Yeah.
got time. The appointment's not till Wednesday, Tuesday, whatever she said. The appointment's not till then. So we still got time. It's not lost. You know what I mean? Worst case, you got to follow up, but you got to try your best right there to try to make it easy. I mean, she might end up, just on the call, like, all right, fine, here's my address. And you can keep the appointment, which is great. You might get that if they start, liking you. But if they're just skeptical, it's, something you said. So you just got to come in with confidence. Like I ask, like it's nonchalant. Like, all right, what's the address now? Okay,
Mhm.
got it,
And
got
I
it.
have
All
an
right,
idea.
perfect, perfect.
I have an idea. It may or may not work. But in the beginning, you know how I say we spoke to you a little while back, and then anyway, blah, blah, blah. You can add this one sentence. So yeah, we spoke a little while back. For whatever reason, we, never made it to your house to give you the quote. And then you go in. And then maybe in their head, they realize, all right, this is a new meeting, right? Like maybe it's confusing people in my script when I tell the customers we spoke a little while back. Maybe they think I mean we've been to their home. But that's not what I mean. I literally only mean we spoke on the phone a little while back. So I'll even experiment with it, and you can experiment with it if you'd like, and add one sentence to your script, which is after you say we spoke a little while back, but for whatever reason, we never been to your home to get you an estimate. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. That may help you later on in the conversation when you ask for the address, because then they shouldn't say anything about, you were already at my house, blah, blah, Maybe it'll work. I don't know. I just thought of it now. You could try it.
I
You could
wanted to add
try it.
another thing just from earlier, like with the role play you guys did earlier, I think it was with Cherry, and she was asking questions, to Jeremy, right? You guys always kind of want to turn it around and be the one asking the questions. You don't want them to put you in a corner. They're asking you questions that you're answering. You really have to like answer a question and turn it around and start asking them questions. My biggest thing is always like if a person, I think it was when she was like, "Oh, I don't remember putting anything online. Like, I don't know how you got my information. Like, I don't remember talking to anybody or kind of thing like that." You know what I mean? Jeremy did his thing about like, oh, at some point you must have gave your information, you know what I mean? Or if it was God that, whatever. But at the end, my questions to them, I'll start turning it around, asking those questions like, well, is there a need? Like, do you have hurricane impact windows? Like, at some point were you shopping around and getting estimates for hurricane impact windows? Like, what do you do now? Do you put shutters up? Or what do you do? What do you got going on? And start turning it around to ask them the questions, because then you take control of the conversation when you start asking the questions. And trust me,
Yep.
they'll start answering. People typically just, it's human nature. They'll start answering those questions for you. And then you're basically gathering information while you're probing already right there for you. So if there's like, okay, there's a need for it, you don't have hurricane protection, and I'm a hurricane impact window company calling you because I got your name, on my list. At some point you had given your information, and here we are. You don't have, it's meant to be. So, let me help you, you know.
Yeah.
And then obviously the other things is just like, so there's no pressure, you know what I mean? Because nobody wants to be feeling pressure. It's like, I try to take the pressure off with the whole fact that it's a free estimate. It's no cost, no obligation to find out the price. But what's the incentive, the value? Like I started off this call with being like, we got some new um marketing deals, kicking off with new special promotions, for the new year. We got some new promotions that we're kicking off, reaching out to those customers that, have a need and interest in wanting to protect their home. Have you, already protected the home? Have you replaced them? No? Well, perfect. And then I'll move on. But you guys, I've got to go. I had a little bit of time. I wanted to join your meeting real quick. Good talking to
Thank
you
you,
guys
Victor.
all. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you,
I'm
Victor,
back.
for your help, man.
Walk back in the
Victor's
building.
been doing this
Talk to you
stuff
later.
so long, so long. He's trained me on everything I know. So I love when Victor chimes in because I forget a lot of the tricks, man. And Victor keeps it, he does it back to the basics, right? Everything I know came from this gentleman. All right, Victor, thank you, man.
See you
All right.
guys.
So you guys can just basically, we don't have to keep role playing. I don't know if that's the most effective way to do this, or we can if you guys like that. Um, or I know I've been running my mouth this whole time, and me and Victor love to hear our own voices. But if you guys want to just ask questions, go ahead.
Boss,
Don't be shy.
sorry. It's me, Cherry, boss.
Hey, Cherry.
Um, can you give us a good rebuttal for those client who says I already have a shutters. I don't need the hurricane impact windows.
Yes.
That,
Yep.
uh,
So the first thing I'm going to ask, because this is important, is when did you buy those shutters? If they said last month, that's a tough one because shutters, although they're way cheaper, they're not cheap. So if the person just bought them last month and spent $6,000, right, or maybe seven, maybe eight, I really don't know. It's going to be hard to convince this dude to rip them down and put impact windows in his house. If he said, I don't know, they were on when I bought the house, that's a different story. I bet we sell a lot of jobs with people who have shutters. I would ask, "Oh, did you put them on recently?" And work it from there. If the guy put them on or the woman put them on recently, you can ask for the appointment still. I mean, do you like them? You know, do you love your shutters? And it also depends on what type of shutters. If they're the type of shutters that you gotta, like my house, for example, where you gotta get up and physically put these shutters on, or if you're an older person, you hire a crew to come out and drill, fasten the shutters onto your home. That's annoying. Nobody likes those. So just because they have shutters doesn't mean they're out of the question. It doesn't mean they're unqualified. Yes, they're protected, but it's a very annoying thing to have to put up shutters depending on the style of shutter. There is something called accordion shutters where they're pretty convenient. Maybe you know what they are. You roll them down and they protect you. However, if there's a hurricane, you cannot see what's going on outside of your home. You don't know if there's trees flying around. You don't know if there's a tree smashed up against your car outside. So still, you're in the market for impact windows. So my rebuttal would be, you know, uh, so you're saying the customer has shutters or rather have shutters?
Already have shutters.
Already has shutters. I would say this. Well, ma'am, you did end up on my list. Did you inquire about windows at some point? And we could talk. We could kind of role play right now, Sherry. So, Sherry, yeah, I mean, you're on my list. It's looking like maybe you did have an interest in going impact. Is that true?
Yeah, but the price is ridiculous. I can't afford it.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, impact windows are not cheap. I'm not going to pretend they're cheap. However, there are different, styles and manufacturers. Some are very affordable. That's why I'm sure a lot of your neighbors have done it. Um, if we could get impact windows in your home for an affordable price, an affordable monthly payment, assuming you're going to finance it like most people, would you entertain the idea of us coming out to explain some things to you?
But you guys are not gonna oblige me to buy, right? I mean,
No way. What? Like, no, no, no. Listen,
'cause I just
we
put
do
the
about
shut.
it. No, we do about 50 of these appointments every single day. We know not everybody's buying windows from us, right? We're happy to come out as long as there's some sort of interest. And as long as you think you might, maybe want to do it within 12 months' time, we're okay with coming in. We know we're not selling everybody we come see windows. Otherwise, we would be super rich, and we're not. Maybe the owner is, but that's another story. So no, there's no obligation. Do you think we can come by tonight, or maybe Monday?
Yeah, sure. Monday is good. But
Okay.
how long? How long does it take for you to? Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Great question. Not long. Usually right about an hour, maybe a little longer, depending on your questions. It really depends on you and how many questions you have for us. And we'll take as much time as you need to understand what we're offering. But yeah, I mean, if let's say we got there Monday at 6 o'clock, I'm sure we'd be out of there by 7:30. Is that all right?
That's too long. I mean, you only need to measure the windows, right?
We're going to measure the windows. We're going to show you different styles because, like I said, there's many different manufacturers to choose from, right? So, listen, if you could pick out the style and color very quickly, then that appointment will take quicker. But I'm just telling you, most people, they want to take their time and really understand the differences and stuff like that. I mean, but that's up to you. We're not gonna, you know, uh, kidnap you in your own home, right? We don't want to be there any longer than we need to. But just typically, from doing this for many, many years, it does usually take about, an hour and a half for us to be able to explain everything. Would that be all right, or is there a better day that would work?
Okay. Uh, okay, that's fine.
I mean, do you have somewhere to be? We don't want to ruin any dinner plans Monday.
No, I'll be home.
Okay. Oh, awesome. And Miss Legaspi, not to be nosy or anything, but is there a Mr. Legaspi? Only asking because, we would want him to also look at the windows too, if that was, your case.
Yeah, Mary. Yes.
Awesome. And that would be okay for both of you? Monday at, what did we say, 6?
Well, he's in the Philippines right now. It's only
Oh,
me and
that's
the house.
cool. Oh, is that where you guys are from?
Yep.
That is so cool. That is so cool. How long is he there?
With that, I'm not really sure.
Oh my
I
God, he
can't
got a
tell.
one-way ticket, huh?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Is
All
there a
right. But
problem with that? I mean, I'll
so
be home on Monday.
yeah, so we're not picking favorites, right? If it was him I was speaking to and he said you're in the Philippines, I'd be saying the same thing. I would say what that we should, we should probably wait till you're both here so you could both look at the styles and designs. I have no problem waiting. Do you have any idea when he's coming back?
Like I said, I don't have any idea, but I make all the decisions, so it doesn't matter.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So he lives there with you, but he's like on a maybe like a business trip or something?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So no, we don't, whoever makes the decision, Cherry, none of my business. And I swear we're not picking favorites. Like I said earlier, if I was speaking to Mr. Legaspi and he said you were out of town, we would definitely, want to wait till you get back too. The reason for that, we want to be thorough and it might not be the case with you and Mr. Legaspi, but it's happened in the past where we've given a quote, right, to the penny, and that quote is based on a lot of different things: the color of window, the manufacturer, a bunch of things, right? And a slight change could throw off the whole price, and we have to honor our price for 1 year, like legally. Like when we tell you our quote is good for 1 year, we mean that, right? So to be safe on our side, we really like to have both of you there. This way, we know for sure the price we give you is what it really was based on. It was based on what you both mutually agree on. Now, I'm not
Well,
saying you're. Go ahead.
sorry to interrupt you, but you don't need to
Okay.
worry about him because, like I said, I make all the decisions. I'm the boss here, so you don't have to
The king of
worry.
the castle, the queen of the castle, huh?
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah.
you. I believe you. I totally believe you.
And I'm excited
Um,
to meet you on Monday, so
mhm.
you know, just
Yeah,
yeah.
unfortunately, we do ask that you're both there. I'm so sorry, and I hope that doesn't offend you in any way. Can we try? Can I give you a call in like 2 weeks and see maybe if you know when he'll be back?
That's fine. Yeah, but
Okay, cool. Yeah,
okay, if that's what you want, you might lose this opportunity now.
I know, I know. It's my ball. I'll have to blame it on the owner. He made his rules, and I don't want to get in trouble. So I know they like to have both of you there just to keep it safe on our end. And listen, this is me talking to you guys now. That's the last resort, blaming it on the rules. Victor actually used to get mad at me for that many years ago. I was in the confirmation department. I was not a appointment center. I was in the confirmation department, and it's very serious. It's called a one-legger. I don't care if it's the husband that's only going to be there or the wife that's only going to be there. It's a one-legger, and we don't take those appointments. And I used to try to explain it and would be speaking to someone like Cherry in real life, and I would cop out. We call it a cop out. I would give up and be like, "Listen, it's just the rules." You know, Victor does not like that. He wants you to explain it so well that the customer agrees with you. But sometimes, like Cherry, no matter what you say, they say something like that. All right, whatever. You're gonna lose the sale. Listen, I mean, and it's truth. I don't make the rules. Every single window company I know of doesn't take one-leggers for a reason. And this is me talking to you guys. I would never say this to the customer, but there's a reason we don't take one-leggers. Number one, depending on the situation, they cannot sign a contract without them both being there because they both legally own the house. They can't sign the contract. And we don't want to send a sales rep that could be driving an hour, and he works on commission only, by the way. They're not paid hourly. So we don't want to send a rep out to drive potentially an hour to your home, spend an hour and a half trying their best to make a check, right? To make some commission to feed their family, only to hear that he can't make the sale because the husband's in the Philippines, or vice versa. The wife's in the Philippines. Or they try to make the sale and they can't because of legal stuff. They both need to be there, right? So, John, when you asked me about one-leggers, I hate turning down leads, and I know it doesn't seem to make sense, but there's a reason why we can't take one-leggers. Now, USA
Hmm.
maybe will take a one-legger only if I prep the owner. I have to call the owner and explain the situation, basically ask him to do me a favor. But still, we're not going to sell that appointment on that day. He's going to work it over time. Maybe he would go see Cherry and make Cherry love him and be super cool and super nice and give a price, and then he's going to work it over time and maybe try to get in touch with the husband, or maybe wait for a day when the husband is in town to really get it wrapped up. Am I making sense?
Yep.
Okay. So that is why we're so serious about the one-legger thing. It's not because we hate women. You know, a lot of customers think we're being sexist. It's not that. It's not that at all. It's a very big thing in this industry. No one-leggers. But anyway, where was I leaving off with Cherry? Oh yeah, she basically said, "Come, or you might lose the sale." What would I do in real life if a lady said that to me? In real life, I would probably say, "Let me see what I could do. I'll put you in for Tuesday at 6 o'clock, or Monday, whatever me and Sherry said." And I would probably call the owner of USA and be like, "Listen, I got this lady who's very stubborn. She will not, do this. Her husband's in the." I would tell him the situation. And I would say, "Do you want this lead?" And he would probably say, "Send it." But that's because he always says that. And it probably wouldn't turn into a sale. I would probably be wasting my time because it's a one-legger and they don't sell. So yeah, I think Cherry won that conversation because, I'm not going to be rude and keep saying the same thing over to a person who just doesn't want to, follow the company's rules. Although Cherry did say, if that's what you want to do, you could do that. So maybe I would have been like, "Yeah, Cherry, let me give you a call in 2 weeks. We'll see if you know when your husband's coming back." It really depends on how I feel that day, how much I want to argue, uh, stuff like that. But let's move on. I hope you kind of learned something from that. I know I didn't really win that argument, but you heard all my stuff. So maybe you learned something there. Does anyone else want to talk about like something they have trouble getting over, like an objection? Come on. We're not all experts. John, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, you kind of explained that already.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
about
right.
the one-legger that I sent, the one-legger that I told you about.
Oh yeah, I
So
felt bad
yeah,
that day because
yeah,
I think it was like two, and I hate telling people, leads are dead, but it's just I don't
yeah.
want you wasting your time. I mean, I want you guys getting sales. And I just know one-leggers are they're not impossible. Nothing's impossible, but these companies don't want to deal with that. It's not their business model. Their business model is going, if married, seeing both of them one time. Either sell it or don't, and if they don't, they try one more time, and that's called a rehash appointment. Most of you probably know what that is, maybe not. And there's that. What else could we talk about? I want to help you guys as much as possible today. Is there
Boss,
anything? Yeah.
sorry. I don't have the experience yet when it comes to kitchen and bath remodeling. I want to know more about it because sometimes we have a lead
Mm-hmm.
uh, that
Okay.
that's interested in kitchen and bath remodeling.
Absolutely. So I'll start off by saying we maybe sold two of those ever. Okay.
Okay.
So don't worry about them too much, but I will answer your question. So USA does kitchen and bathroom remodeling. Remodeling is extremely different than refacing. FHIA does refacing only. And I'll tell you the difference. Although maybe it's self explanatory. Refacing is just removing the doors and the drawers, countertops, maybe the backsplash, and it's much cheaper and it makes it look nice, but it's the same structure, right? Nothing's moved, like the sink isn't going to be moved to the other side of the kitchen or anything like that. Everything's going to remain in the same place, but it's just going to look brand new. It's like, painting your car, sort of, although it's not paint. The car's the same, but it looks very nice and very new. So that's refacing. Only FHIA does that. But as you know, if it came from the FF list, you can't give it to them anyway. Remodeling, sure you know what that is. That's a full remodel. That's a full tear out the old kitchen, and replace it with whatever the homeowner wants. I don't want you to worry too much about the kitchen and bathroom thing for now. It's really only for a backup. Let's say you call a lead and they just did their windows and they just did their roof. You can ask, hey, what are the chances you don't like your kitchen very much? That's exactly what I say because it's kind of funny, right? They might laugh and they may say, oh, yeah, actually, me and my wife were talking about redoing our bathroom. You don't have to know too much. Just say, great, awesome. Yeah, we could certainly give you a price on that. We have some great promotions going on, just like we say about everything. And then you would have to send that to USA. And they only have one rep who deals with kitchen and bath over there, and his name is Rashad Shakur, I think. Now, when you're sending in a lead to USA, I know Latrell, I know you do it yourself, but Vic's people, do you guys send leads into USA yourselves, or do you have Victor do it?
But most of the time, Victor's doing it for us.
He is, huh? Okay. So what I'm about to say won't make sense anyway. But inside USA, when you send in a lead, there's a spot to choose the sales rep, which we never do. We're not supposed to do that. So don't, unless it's for kitchen. When it's for kitchen, you're supposed to choose it yourself and put it under Rashad Shakur. But don't worry too much about that. You guys aren't going to be sending too many of them. If you do, just text me, ask me, and I'll actually train you on how to do it. But yeah, Cherry, I mean, it's very easy. Just say, great, awesome, we can help you with that. But it has to be in South Florida. Yeah, it has to be in South Florida. We can't do it in like, on the West Coast or Tampa, Fort Myers. It has to be in Palm Beach, Broward, or Miami. And they don't sell much of it anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Is there anything else I can help you guys with? I hope so. I hope so. Don't be shy. Okay. Does anyone want to role play one more time? You don't have to. Did anyone learn anything?
Yep, of course, boss.
Yes.
Okay, good,
Yes.
good. That's the point of this. That's the point of this. And maybe we'll do another one soon before the end of the month, and maybe you'll think of some more stuff that you had trouble with on a phone call. And that's it. Jarena, I know you're so new that a lot of this stuff is maybe overwhelming to you. Don't worry too much. All these people started with MVP not knowing anything about, our window companies that we work with. All they had was a script and me and a couple other guys helping them. So, all right. I mean, if you guys don't have anything else that you want help with, we don't have to sit here and waste time. You can get back to dialing if you were scheduled today, or you can go back to doing whatever the hell you were doing on your Saturday. And then we'll take it, we'll start tomorrow.